What is this, Thursday today? Wednesday.
Tyler Myers was out skating again, second day in a row, but he stayed out late. So is it the same 6 defensemen tonight?
Yeah, I think we're going. I actually had to talk to Mizey here. I haven't talked to him yet. But we haven't really made our final decisions. But, it's prudent, though. I do want him to get a couple practice in. But, he could have played tonight, I think. But, I'll talk to him today.
Rick, I guess your expectations tonight with the Colorado Avalanche in town. What are you looking from your group tonight?
Yeah, obviously Colorado was a great team, but I don't care who we're playing tonight. I like the way we're playing. Can we keep trending on that direction? Play without the puck. Obviously, we're playing obviously they had a great game last game. McKinnon's a handful. They got their, but I do like the way we played against them in Colorado, so we should have some confidence because of that and because of the way we're playing.
The way that you guys are kind of set up here with all these home games, from the coaching staff's perspective, like with the extra practice time, the way you guys have played over the last 4 games or so, like how good of a spot is the coaching staff in right now with how you guys are working with the players? Well,
you get more teaching time. When we're condensed, you don't spend as much time with the players because you got to be conscious how much you're giving them. There's games after games after games. Now that they're spaced out, there's 4 or 5 guys in the offices, individual teaching. You have more time with a player when you have this type of stretch. Plus, we get to practice next couple of days. Some stuff that we can work on. So it's obviously every team goes through that wherever they get that break in the schedule, and ours happens to be in March.
JT's done a nice job this year taking on matchups. Yeah. Obviously, McKinnon leads the National Hockey League in scoring, and there aren't many tougher matchups. But when you task JT with those sorts of things, like, do you think it brings out the best in his game?
Yeah, he's when I put him against a guy, if he's ready, the guy's on the ice, he's looking at me like, get me out there. You like that about him. He's taken that upon him. He wants to go against the McKinnons, the McDavids of the world. But the way we're set up with Lindy now here, Petey's a damn good 200-foot player too, so it's not critical. But, yeah, there's some matchups that I do like Millsy out there against a bigger, stronger guy, of course.
Hughes and McCarr is something we've been watching since both guys came into the league. Can you size up that matchup a little bit and just how well Quinn has been playing the last few games?
I think Quinn's last 3, 4, before that, he was a little, he'll even tell you he didn't like his game. I think when he's defending without the puck, the other stuff comes. When he's thinking too much offense, I think it's so he gets in trouble. But I think he's been terrific defending the last 3, 4 games, really hard. And the way he does it, obviously he's different than bigger defenseman, but he's quick. He knows he's got a good stick. And then when he's got, what's good defense when you have the puck on your stick? He always has the puck on his stick, so that's good defense too. So, I think he's recharged too. He's played a lot of hockey. There's been a lot of games in February, and I think this break has helped him the most.
In that matchup, the two of them?
Yeah, I think anytime you get 2 marquee guys, it's fun to watch. But for me, you got to be, I've always said this, even with the individuals, it's about the teams. You got to be careful. It's not McCarr against Hughes. It's Colorado against Vancouver. You got to think that way. They just happen to be, 2 of the best, or not the best defense in the league.
When do you think Dakota might start skating with the group again?
He's been skating a lot. I don't have a timetable, but hopefully in the next little while we'll get him. But like I said, I want him healthy. So if we have to take an extra 3, 5 a week, I'd rather do it now with a guy like him.
You talked a bit about Lindholm yesterday on the offense, but
sure.
Everything else that's there.
Well, play without the puck is what I mean. Listen, he'd like to. I think he's going to get offense, and he will get offense. But to me, the play without the puck, there's the subtleties that I really watch him, where he covers for somebody. That's what I see. And when it comes to the dot, 60%. I have the same attitude with power play. It's you lose a draw in the neutral zone. Okay, yeah, you want to win every draw, but that's the lesser of the evil. But when he wins the critical ones, that's what the 60% is probably higher in critical times when we really need to draw. That's when he really shines. It's like a power play. Like power play percentage to me is when the game's on the line. You make it 6-2. Power play gets, it's good for the stats, but it's 3-3, 6 minutes left. That's when your power play wants to score, and that's the pressure. It's the same thing with the dots. 4 minutes left. I saw that in this trip We had some critical face-off, situations with tired people, and he won that draw. So that's the way I look at the pressure of when guys are going in there.
Trade deadline's always a tenuous time
Yeah.
for players. There was some speculation regarding Lindy.
Yeah.
As a coach, when it passed, do you speak to him at all just to make sure that his head is in the right place after going through something like that?
I spoke to him on the trip before the trade deadline to tell him, my feelings and what was being said. So, and I think he appreciated it. I think and he's played better. Maybe I don't know. Some players act different around the trade deadline. I don't know. But as a coach, you try to support your player. Because there are times that there might be a trade rumor or there might be some kind of truth to it. This one wasn't, but there has been time as a coach you got to make the guy, put him in the best possible frame, mind frame for sure.
Hey, Rick, just in regards to Demko being out for the next few weeks, does that change the team's approach at all regarding strategy? And how do you use that adversity to help motivate the team during this next stretch?
Yeah, it's a good question. No, I don't think it changes strategy at all. It's not all of a sudden you play better defense or we're going to go to a 1-4, to protect. No, you play the same way. We still have the same philosophy. Hopefully the goalie can play half the net. We take the backside away from him. But no, we don't. We don't change our feeling because of who's in net.
And if you guys continue to widen the gap in the standings during the stretch, do you look at potentially limiting the minutes of a Hughes, Pettersson, and keep them fresh for the playoffs?
I don't think. I think about tonight. That those discussions will happen, whatever happens. But right now, I don't think that way. I just think about Colorado first period. Our pre-scout tonight. The information I give them. I don't think anything in the future about that.
I know you've addressed the importance of Carson Soucy before, but through every game, it seems like it's always a positive result. What has he meant to this team?
Yeah, I think I've said this before. He's a calm guy. Calmness. If things get a little hectic out there, he seems to be a calm and influence to a lot of guys. It seems like whoever plays with him, his partner, he calms that partner down. And I think that's why even him and Mizey, they had a good run there before he got hurt. They were really good together, Myers. And now you got him and Kohler, same thing. They've done a nice job. So, yeah, he's just a guy that low maintenance guy. He's a pleasure to coach. He's in the lineup. Obviously, we have a better chance of winning. So, is it a coincidence? No, I think he's just a really good hockey player that understands our system and understands what we need from him. I think that's and that helps us win.
A little while ago, it felt like we were talking a lot about discipline and stick penalties. For the past few games, it feels like your team's done a much better job at having that discipline. Yeah. How important is that tonight, especially against a team like the Avalanche that has all these game breakers on their power play?
Well, it's been huge for me the last 5. It's been before that. It's been driving me crazy because you just can't. But to be honest, we started a drill 5 games ago. Then since we've done this drill, it's a stick-on-puck drill, and it seems since we've been doing it, guys aren't taking stick penalties. So it looks like we're going to be doing this drill every day, or as much as I can.
Yeah, a couple extra shots over the top probably.
Yabba dabba don't.
Beating some of those teams that we just beat in the way we beat them.
Do or do not. There is no try.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Hey, yeah.
I think you don't have to spit all these.
Generational talent. Thanks for liking the video and subscribing.